Greetings, Earthlings, and welcome to 7th Street.
He said precisely the same thing to Miss Coulter, the Stashwaite murderess, before he sent her to the gallows.
Frosty.
Today we're asking the question, why doesn't anyone reference this film?
Don't laugh at me, Bob. But I sometimes think that there are some things that can't be explained in the ordinary way.
I'm talking, of course, about the 1942 werewolf flick, The Undying Monster.
When stars are bright on a frosty night, beware thy bane on the rocky lane.
After the savage attack of a young aristocrat named Oliver Hammond, Inspector Curtis from the Scotland Yard is sent in to solve the grisly murder.
It's too early to form an opinion yet, but we have to figure on something with almost superhuman strength. It tears with grasping paws and bites ferociously. Whose approach even a dog can't sense.
Inspector Curtis soon finds that he has his work cut out for him as he discovers that a werewolf prowls the grounds at night, killing certain members of the Hammond family. Needless to say, this film borrows a lot from the Arthur Conan Doyle book, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Think about it. There's a family curse, a hellhound that prowls the grounds at night, and a stuffy British detective.
Had no bearing on the case. She didn't die from the venom.
But you did inject it into her vein.
No.
It could have gotten there through the scratches of whatever it was that clawed her.
Possible.
That's not only possible, but that's what happened.
The big difference between The Undying Monster and The Hound of the Baskervilles is that instead of disproving the werewolf legend, much like Sherlock Holmes does, Inspector Curtis finds himself squaring off against an honest-to-goodness werewolf.
That shows the spectrum analysis of wolf's hair. And here's the one I found.
It's incredible.
Well, Inspector, that blows up your spook theory.
What's happened?
The Undying Monster is an exceptionally moody film. It's got dark castles and foggy landscapes full of howling wolves. And the sets in this movie are really quite impressive. They're so big and large and full of detail.
Sounds like a pretty definite warning to me. Yet you ignored it last night.
To tell you the truth, I never took it very seriously.
Seems rather like flying in the face of fate in view of what happened to your ancestors.
Superstitious rot.
Well, superstitions are often based on fact.
In the 1930s and 40s, Hollywood made thousands of these B pictures. Movies that would play as the lesser-known movie on a double feature. This movie was obviously made as a cash-in on the Wolfman. And you know, depending on my mood, I almost like this one better.
Leave Hammond Hall, go back to London, before it's too late.
Too late? What are you keeping from me?
There are some things that are beyond the understanding of us who live on this earth.
The Undying Monster may be ridiculous at times and a little too cliché.
That's the verdict that's always been given in these Hammond cases. What do you think?
I think I'll be able to prove it's murder.
But it's boasting with visual appeal. It has all the chills and atmosphere that make it, in my opinion, a classic. It's completely on par with the Universal monster films of the 40s.
And you know what the monster is.
It's really hard for me to pick a favorite scene in this movie. I mean, there are some great moments where they're chasing the werewolf along the rocky lanes. And there are some ridiculously funny lines delivered by Heather Thatcher.
Toodaloo, see you at lunch if not before. Golly, I'm famished. I do hope that bloodthirsty spook hasn't raided the pantry.
But honestly, at only 63 minutes, this movie's a breeze, and it starts itself off in the best way, with a werewolf stalking its prey on a fog-enshrouded night. I first saw this movie late one night on AMC. I was about 17 at the time, and for whatever reason I was hooked right from the first scene. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the goofy acting, or maybe it was the fog-enshrouded sets. I'm not really sure. But what I am sure of is that this is a better movie than it gets credit for.
And what can that prove?
One of two things. Either you injected the cobra venom into Kid O'Malley's veins, or you deliberately withheld the information that venom was in the system at the coroner's inquest.
So next time you notice that stars are bright on a frosty night, beware thy bane, and ask yourself, why doesn't anyone reference this film?
Oh, my goodness.
Now what?
I just happened to think. I was sleeping in the next room the night that wolfman grabbed his sister. What if he grabbed me?
Don't worry, Christy. Wolves will never bother you.